Coming to New World, so let's talk about them. There's a patch just been revealed by Amazon tonight, and it's coming like first thing tomorrow, or tonight if you're in like Pacific time. I'm currently live streaming, so this is a little bit awkward and might be a little bit weird, but let's just jump straight into it. So we'll have a look at the update today. We can see patch 1.5.1, right? Downtime's coming tonight, as I said, which is actually tomorrow morning if you're in the UK, UTC, but let's not dwell on it too much. Now, there's a couple of interesting changes, but we'll get to the big one in a minute. This change I was pretty convinced was already in the game, but they're reiterating it here, probably because it wasn't in when the patch went live. They probably just messed it up, and here we have it. Then, this one really doesn't affect many people, but it's going to affect Danny, which we'll talk about that on stream tomorrow with him. Faction control point crafting yield bonuses will now compound additively instead of multiplicatively, if I say that right. So basically the yield bonuses from the trade skill will be less. It's a bit unfortunate if you were waiting for that, but with the double XP just around the corner, it probably makes sense. Then they've improved the tier 3 aptitude rewards for the furnishing trade K skill, which is always interesting right there and then, but not many people probably are doing this, so it makes sense to increase the rewards, right? And it's probably quite difficult to get because furnishing is quite difficult. This apparently good for some PvE, but I don't really know too much about it. Then we're just going to skip these because I don't really care about them. Let's talk about the main talking point of the day, which is we are increasing the arena salt and XP rewards to be more generous. Okay, now I don't know what that entails. You don't currently get salt for a loss in arena, but hopefully you are going to get salt for a loss in arena after this. It's hard to say. They don't necessarily give us the full details, but maybe the rest is the full details. Not 100% sure, so we'll find out when this patch goes live. Now, this I thought was already in the game. Given the time, well, actually let's just skip on. We are adjusting the daily cap at 40 matches per day, or approximately 3 hours of daily PvP arena matches. I thought this was already currently in the game, but the fact that they're mentioning it in the patch, again, I'm not 100% sure why. Maybe they're just reiterating that that is something they've done because it wasn't actually mentioned in any of the previous patch notes. Either way, that I think we can all agree 40 matches just makes a lot more sense. Like, it's not something you're going to hit very casually, and if you're hardcore and you're doing that much, then probably fair enough that you start getting less rewards. After 40 matches in 24 hours, we will reward 25% of the original PvP salt and PvP XP rewards. So essentially, you're always going to get some rewards, but after you've played about 3 hours, the rewards are going to get a little bit less, and then you play again the day after, and you get back to the full rewards. Fair enough, I think we're all happy with that. My key thing is I need to know what the details are here. Like, we are increasing the arena salt and XP rewards to be more generous. Is that something that they've not documented here, and they've actually increased the XP and the salt? Or are they just talking about the 40 match cap? Like, I'm not 100% sure. We'll probably find out tomorrow in game when we try an arena to see if it's worth doing that over the PvE missions. Now, the glaring omission here is those PvE faction missions. Why are they not actually talking about them? Are they happy with them? I made a video yesterday, talked about I'm not too displeased with them. I'm green on a faction dominated by greens, so it's turned into effectively PvE missions because there's not really many people contesting it. So I'm a little bit happy, but if you're yellow or purple on my server, you're probably unhappy, which I completely understand, and I wouldn't argue with you. So are they just going to leave that? Well, or maybe they're thinking of a better, more sustainable plan. I always wanted them to buff arena, and a glaring omission here is the lack of an increase to outpost rush. Like, the fact that you can do an outpost rush, take many, many minutes, like 10, 20, 30 minutes, and end up with minimal or no rewards, feels bad. I've not even done an outpost rush because I'm aware of that. So I don't know why they're not buffing that yet. Hopefully at some point they will do that. And then the next one is interesting, but not really that serious, is they've increased the amount of coin from the coin packs on the PvE reward track, which, weirdly, I've actually been taking because I'm getting quite close to my salt cap. So I wouldn't say it's a good way of making gold, but it's not been a bad way of making gold, if that makes sense. So I'm happy with that. Then they fixed an issue where you now can't get... some people were not taking damage from the Ring of Fire. I didn't know too much about that. And now apparently pressing N on the scoreboard will not crash you out. So all good changes. This is the big one, how they're going to balance the arenas with Outpost Rush with the PvE missions. It really depends what this means. Now, are they just being more generous here because it was 20 matches? Is that what they mean? Do they just mean, oh, we're being more generous because it's 20 matches and now it's 40? Or are they actually going to buff them a little bit? I've got to presume it's actually the former, because they've not said what they would be buffing them to. So if it's just that seems a little bit weak. I feel like it needs a bit more of a better balance than that. It needs a buff to Salt and XP, as well as Outpost Rush needing the same. So we'll have to wait and see how that actually comes out. Now, I'm going to go back to live streaming. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Have a most beautiful day. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.